brochures for the Golden Cemetery. What a beautiful day we got today. Not too windy, not too bad. We're here to celebrate the Golden Cemetery as being listed on the National Registry of Historic Places. This was announced by the Director of National Park Service on May the 18th, 2012, and it is only one of 4 such cemeteries in the state of Colorado. This cemetery was established in 1873. It has many famous individuals that are interned here. It now has over 700 veterans that we are honoring here today. Along with them, I want to recognize the living veterans that are here amongst us today. My daughter and her husband, and many of you amongst us, have served our country well, and we appreciate that. People often ask me why I think history is important. I'm often reminded by the words of the historian Arnold J. Toynbee, who was a British historian who passed away in 1975. He was once quoted as saying, "The only thing that we ever learn from history is that we never learn from history. And therefore, these sordid chapters of horror must continue to repeat themselves." Many of us have heard that a fool does not learn from his mistakes is doomed to repeat them. So what does that mean on a day such as this? We're here to honor those veterans that gave their time and often their lives to protect what we enjoy as our freedoms in this country. If we don't remember those who passed away, then we are doomed to no longer enjoy those rights. It often is said that freedom is never free. So once again, quote Toynbee, "History not used is nothing. For all intellectual life is action, like practical life. If you don't use this stuff well, it might as well be dead." In my study of Celtic cultures, there was a saying that those that followed the Druidic disciplines used in their ceremonies, and it went like this: bringing the past into the present so that the future may endure. We must remember the difficulties that our forefathers endured that allow us to enjoy a day like today. It would also do us well to look at some of the mistakes they made in creating the freedoms that we enjoy today. By remembering these things, we can do a better job of creating for our future grandchildren and their grandchildren so they can enjoy this freedom into the future. Civilization is a movement. It's not natural. It's not who we are as human beings. As flesh, we are but animals. It's not a condition. It's a journey, a voyage, not a safe harbor. It's the story of God's creation on the move. So let us make every effort to make that a wonderful story and not a story of disaster. Each of us here has a responsibility to protect the future. We all hear that we need to protect the environment for future generations, and I believe that to be true. However, we very seldom hear that we must also protect how we think, how we express ourselves, how we carry the flame of freedom and democracy into the future. This is the true test. Sorry about that. This is the true test of how we will be remembered in future generations. Of the 22 major civilizations that existed in the history of mankind, only 2 of them reached past the point where we are today in our moral environment. Why is that? The basic lifetime of any major civilized nation, has been 200 years. A study of history shows us that the crux of the matter has always been financial gain. Sir Alexander Fraser Tytler was once quoted as saying, "A democracy cannot exist as a permanent form of government. It can only exist until the voters discover that they can vote themselves money from the public treasuries. From that moment, the majority will always vote for candidates promising the most benefits from that public treasury. With the result that democracies will always collapse from loose fiscal policies and have always been followed by dictatorships. So once again, do we allow ourselves to be that fool who does not learn from his mistakes and be doomed to repeat those patterns over and over again? That's our responsibility. Let's not forget these veterans that lie here today that gave their lives to protect freedoms that we need to pass on to our children and to our children's children. I thank you for your time today, and now I want to present this plaque commemorating this cemetery as the newest site listed in Colorado as a National Historic Site. We do this so that the future may be fortified by remembering those who gave their lives, gave their spirits, gave their thoughts to make us the nation we are today. If I could now please have the City Council come forward and also the members of the Golden Historic Preservation Board, please. Oops. It's snagged. Come on. Thank you. Accepting this plaque today on behalf of the City of Golden is our Mayor Pro Tem, Joe Beam.
Thank you very much. I want to thank everybody again for coming out today and for the wonderful ceremony, Commander. It's very touching, and I'm here today. The mayor, Marjorie, could not be here, but we do have members of the City Council. Marcia, remember, Marjorie's not here, but we have Marcy and Marcia, and we have Saoirse and Bob as well, and we also have members of our Historic Preservation Board who worked very long and hard to acquire our cemetery on the National Register of Historic Places. So you can be proud of the City of Golden and all the work our volunteers do. We have many boards and commissions. This is one of our favorite ones, though, because they're here right now, but also because they really work hard and they do amazing things. And we hope you can actually look around town and see some of the other work that they've performed. Again, I want to thank everyone for coming. We have a lot to be thankful for. I was fortunate enough to be in France a few years ago, and I was wandering along a little path. And there was kind of hunched over gentleman, as you can imagine. He had a cane, and he had a little beret on. And he looked at me. It was a day just like this, and it was actually in May, and he said, Viva, viva, viva America, viva America. So not only do we celebrate and remember, but so do so do all the other folks in the world that have benefited from the ultimate sacrifices that our young men and women have done and continue to do. So again, Commander, thank you very much. On behalf of the City of Golden, thanks everybody for coming.
Okay, this now concludes our ceremony. Again, from Legion 21 and Golden 4171. We do what we do because of the people that died and because of the people that remember the people that died and come here to see this. So God bless you all. God bless America. Thank you for coming.